Hi everybody, today we're going to make corn soup, but like a really creamy, silky corn soup, like Japanese style. I think it's called potage, the kind that you're going to want to dunk all your bread in and everything. So first, preheat your oven, 180 degrees, let it heat up. It takes about half an hour for me. Then you've got time to prep your corn. Just peel off all those ears, and then you've got a lot of that corn silk, so you can rip that all off and try to get off as much as you can. If you don't know what to do with corn silk, save it and watch this little video that I've got showing here. And that'll show you something really quick and easy to do with that. So get as much of the corn silk off as you can. Save that up. Then you've got all your clean cobs, and set yourself up a pretty sturdy working surface. I put a wet towel on underneath the board and underneath my cutting board so that it doesn't slip around. Obviously, I didn't think this through, had to fold it over. But you're going to want a big board because everything is going to get everywhere. When you're cutting down the corn kernels, they're just going to fall all over the place. Make sure you cut as close as you can to the germ of the corn kernels because that's where all the nutrition is. It'll take some time to get through all of it, but take your time. And don't worry about the corn cob because we're not going to waste those. Once you've collected everything into a bowl, you can work on the corn cobs themselves. We're going to cook everything. We're not wasting a single thing from the corn. Break those in half, and if some of them are too tough to break through, just roll your knife through the middle and then break them in half. It's not really good for your knife if you try to bend it and tweak it with the blade. Sprinkle some olive oil on, and then the salt, and the olive oil will help the salt stick to the corn. I'm adding paprika because I'm using white corn, so we need to add a little bit of color to it so it gives it a nice golden color. Mix it all up and spread everything, including the corn cobs, onto a large roasting pan. It really doesn't matter how you do it, just make sure that everyone's got equal access to the heat. 180 degrees for 20 minutes or however long. It gives you a little char. We're not cooking the corn right now, we are actually just charring it to start the Maillard process. Because when we put it in the Instant Pot next, we're going to cook it pretty thoroughly and get all of that goodness out, and that'll continue. Take your onion, dice it up. You can chop it pretty roughly, but it doesn't matter if it's all even sized or not, because we're going to toss it in a little bit of butter and soften them up. Turn on your fan because it's going to smell like onions for a bit. And we've got that butter. You want to make sure you melt it. Don't brown it because that will change the flavor profile, and it's a little bit too harsh, I think, for the corn. And then toss that around, soften up those onions till like this. Then mix them back in with the rest of your bowl and some chicken stock or vegetable stock. Glug, 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 glug. Now, separate your tarragon leaves from the stems. This is not thyme. This is obviously tarragon. I don't know what I was thinking when I was labeling these. And throw the stems in here. You save the leaves for later. Put it in your Instant Pot or your pressure cooker. Cook it on high pressure. I think that's 12 psi for about 20 minutes, and let it vent afterwards. You can go off and run and make a coffee or clean up the mess that you've made so far. Once it's done, you've got really ultra cooked corn, and the corn cob flavor has come out as well into the liquid. If you want the extra nutritional value, which I do, scrape out those corn germs from the kernels as much as you can with the back of a knife. Here you can blend them with a stick. I've got a stick blender. If you have a real blender, go ahead and use that. It's probably easier than this. You don't have to blend it super fine. You just really need to blend it big enough so that later on when we're straining, you're going to get all that goodness out of it because the actual fibers are not going to make it through the strainer. This is the most time-consuming part, where you've got to strain it. I've only got a fine sieve to get it through, but if you've got a proper chinois, that is probably a lot better. And then you push all of it through until your consistency looks like this. Add some heavy cream and or milk to get to the consistency that you like. Don't boil it, just keep it on a very light simmer, and then sprinkle a little salt to taste. It's going to be sweet. It is corn soup. You can see from my soup here, because I'm using white corn, that it's not quite as golden as I would have liked. I usually do half and half, white and yellow corn. Then put your tarragon leaves in there and coat your bread and enjoy. It's really smooth, really rich, full of corn flavor. This is a really popular dish in Japan, and kids love it. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know if the commentary is helpful as I describe what we're doing, and please subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.